if you're trying to humble me, I'm just gonna do me, and if that bothers you, then just take it.
Do you think people shouldn't be humble?
No, why? No, because like seriously, I think the reason men are trying so hard to humble women is because they cannot have access to them.
Wait, you're Nick, please.
Yeah, there's no need to humble women. Just level up as a man. Like if you're not desirable in the market, and you don't get dates, it's not a woman's issue. It's your problem.
Well, I think it's a two-pronged issue. So men obviously need to level up in various ways, but like as a woman, and actually we have some of your videos that we're going to react to. If you're delusional and you think you deserve the fucking world just by virtue of being a woman, and you deserve a guy who's 6 feet, makes this much money.
I don't think I deserve it. But
what do you mean you
I will
don't think?
attract it.
Okay, well,
I don't think I deserve it just because I am a woman, but I know what I'm bringing to the table, and I'm expecting the same.
Okay, well, you said you know what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Since you know what it is, what are you bringing to the table?
Well, I'm a good woman.
Okay.
I'm religious, Christian. I don't go out actually, like clubs and stuff.
Okay.
I've went out, when I was younger, like 18, 19. I'm 24 now. I'm over it. I'm a homebody.
Yeah. I
had literally like 2 serious relationships. I've dated, but I've saved myself because I come from a household where, my father always, told me like not to engage with men, sexually and all that stuff.
Oh, so you're a virgin?
No, I'm not a virgin.
Oh,
not at all.
Okay.
But
I misheard.
I've been, how do you say celibacy?
Celibate.
I've been celibate for 3 years, like from when I was 19 to 23, like something like that.
Move her mic just a little bit to the right.
To the right, like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you said your relationship just ended 2 months ago, but you're in a 2-year relationship?
Yes, I was 22, about to be 23, something like that.
And you...
And celibate?
No. Well,
you said
maybe I'm mixing this up, but I was celibate for 3 years, and I took that decision. I didn't want to, have no intimacy with anybody.
Even your boyfriend who you broke up with 2 months ago?
Know what I wanted out of a relationship. And I think especially younger women, don't be so quick to jump into like engaging in sexual activity. Why? Because you're not ready yet like that. Like you need to have your moment, I feel. You have to have your moment, right? You have to get to know yourself and what you want in relationships with men. And don't make so many sacrifices. And I think that's why men, especially older men, tend to go to, for younger women, is because they don't know how to say no. They don't have the standards and their boundaries set up yet. So, us, especially younger women, just, save yourself. And I'm all about saving myself. And,
older men are attracted to younger women because younger women are more physically attractive. No, it's because they're more pleasant, they're more physically attractive, they have a lower body count, they have less past relationship trauma and baggage, they're more fertile, they're more capable of...
They have higher fecundity.
Yeah. Okay, then you should be okay with the fact that women want provider men and want successful men.
They do. I totally accept that.
Okay.
That's totally fine. I'm just a little curious though. You said you've been celibate for 3 years, but you were just in a 2-year relationship. So were you not?
I was younger. Like I started like 18, 19. Like I don't really remember, but I took the decision of like being celibate.
So you were
and
in
not having intimacy.
So you're the 2-year relationship.
I was active, yeah, with my partner.
Bro, this is why you...
No, I think you saying from age 19 to 22 you were celibate for those 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said you were celibate for the past.
So she's saying from 19 to 22 she was celibate for 3 years, and then she got in a 2-year relationship.
Motorsports donated $200. This panel gives credence to the saying, if it floats, fly a Sorp Hawks, rent IT. The only person that will win in your future realty and shy-ops are the divorce attorneys. Level up, not with your attitude.
Oh, okay. All right, here, look. Here, I'll just try to articulate why I think it's important. look, you guys want to keep thinking you're 10s, that's totally fine. I just think, and a lot of women come on the show, and look, you guys are attractive girls, but a lot of women come on the show who are clearly not 10s in physical appearance and think they are 10s in physical appearance. If you're so gassed up by all the guys hitting on you and all the attention you get on dating apps and all your girlfriends, oh my God, you're so fucking slay queen in your Instagram comments, you're going to start being gassed up and thinking you're hot shit when you're not. I'm sure you all know a dude who thinks he's hot shit and you're like, bro, this guy needs some fucking humble pie. He's not all that. So when you think you're really hot, you're gonna think you deserve a certain caliber of guy. And here's where women get into trouble. If you think you're a 10, you're gonna demand a man who's a 10, whether that manifests itself in his looks, his status, his money, whatever it is, his charisma, his personality. The reality is most women are average. Most men are average. Average people ought to pair up with average people. The reality is, though, and what I see in the dating marketplace, a lot of women who are average don't want average men. You're all chasing after the top caliber of dudes. These dudes might happily fuck you and sleep with you and string you along, keep you in a friends with benefits situation. You're not going to get commitment from a lot of these dudes. So what ends up, let me just finish. So what ends up happening is that if you don't have an accurate self-assessment of where you land in the dating marketplace, you're going to be chasing after a caliber of guy that will never give you commitment, but you're going to get all caught up because that guy's going to string you along and fuck you and never give you commitment. That's why all these girls end up in situationships, friends with benefits, 6 months, no commitment. And that's because those guys are happy to sleep with you because men and women value different things. Men will happily sleep with you, string you along. They will never give you commitment. They will never give you a ring. So maybe you're fine with that. A lot of women would prefer the divided attention of a really high status dude than the commitment and full of attention of a guy who's you view as below you, but who's actually on your level, who's your looks equivalent, who's your status equivalent. So if you're chasing, if all these women are, you mentioned hypergamy at the beginning of the show, if all these women are chasing after the top 10% of men, these top 10% of men are not going to commit, they're not going to settle for you. The thing is, right, women can sleep with average women. We get women on the show who are 19, 20 college girls, 1,000 followers on Instagram. They're fucking NFL players. They're fucking NBA players. Men who are at the top echelons of the dating market, who are the most attractive, who are wealthy, who have status, etc. How are you going to date? How are you going to be 19 years old and fuck with an NFL player who's making millions of dollars a year, who's in incredible shape, and then go back to date a 19-year-old college boy who's on your level, who will give you commitment? It's going to be really hard. The lifestyle differential there is going to be very difficult. The other thing is, so typically for a girl to sleep with a guy, that guy needs to be at least attractive enough for that girl to be in a relationship with that guy. For you to sleep with a guy, he has to at least be attractive enough for you to consider being in a relationship. But it's totally the reverse for men. Men will gladly sleep with women, and this is just based on their physical attractiveness alone. We'll sleep with the girl, but we would, just based on her physical attractiveness, we'll never be in a relationship with her. But we welcome sex. We welcome sex. So because of that, women can secure sex from men that are more attractive than them, whether that's looks, status, income, wealth, whatever. You think that that's your level. You think that that's your league. But the reality is, no, that guy was never going to get commitment from you. Your league is the guys who are prepared to commit to you, be in relationships with you, be monogamous with you, and give you a ring. It's not the dude who's willing to fuck you. So that's why it's very, very, very important for women to have an accurate self-assessment of their own physical attractiveness. Otherwise, y'all going to be fucking dudes that are frankly, out of your league. And then you're going to look at the guy who's actually on your league, who's actually in your league, who's on your level, who will give you commitment. You're going to think you're settling for him, and maybe you eventually do, and then you're resentful of him the entire relationship, even though this guy is on your level. A lot of dudes, a lot of women look at men who are actually on their level and think, no, actually he's not at the same attractiveness level as me. And then they curve them. And then they wonder by the time they're 30, where are all the good men? You curve them in your 20s when you're fucking NFL players and NBA players and all this shit.
I just want to clarify that I don't go ahead and look for millionaires and billionaires, and I don't teach that to women. I teach them like to like attract providers. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Because to me,
That's fun.
To me, a millionaire, a NFB whatever player, yeah, he can have money, but if he doesn't support you, he's the equivalent of a broke man. So unless a man, you know, it's not supporting me and it's not committing, you know, to me, I don't care about that man.
But
You know what
I'm talking
in
about
the sense that I would not take him seriously. Like, I'm not those type of women that be sleeping with millionaires just because he's a millionaire and then they go home and they're still broke. Like, that to me is stupid. I'm sorry. That to me, it's dumb. It's the equivalent of, you know, dealing with a broke man. So I'm looking for commitment. I'm looking for stability and somebody that can support me. And that doesn't mean that it's not unattainable. And I think that you're saying, oh, women are only going for the 1%. No, we're not. We're going for provider men. We need that security and that stability.
that really doesn't
And
add
I
up,
hate
though,
men
because you
like making excuses for lazy men. Like, I don't.
right, but you even mentioned at the beginning of the show, you mentioned hypergamy and that women should be hypergamous. I mean,
Yeah,
you are basically
selective.
you're basically advocating hypergamy is the tendency for women to date men who are of a higher, and that could be attractiveness level or a socioeconomic level. So
Not necessarily millionaires.
But okay, sure. But the whole thing I'm trying to get at, and it could even be like you're a college girl and you're just like fucking the super hot college dudes, and then like the guys who are actually prepared to, you're gonna friend zone the guys. You girls want to know where the guys who are prepared to be loyal and who will commit to you. That's the biggest complaint of women. All these men, they're cheaters. They don't commit. That's because y'all are chasing after this like small percentage of hyper attractive, super attractive dudes. You know where the loyal guys are, where he'll give you commitment, who will be good boyfriends? They're probably in your friend zone because you curve the guys that are actually on your level because you all are chasing after the really hot fuck boys and shit.
I don't care.
And this is evidenced by, if you look at dating apps, if you look at, okay, sure. If you look at dating apps, women are only swiping on like the top 10% of dudes. They're getting all the women, whereas the rest of the guys are getting nothing or the scraps.